Hi, welcome to Meet the Merchants. I'm Kat Rutkin. I'm the director of Somerville Local First. This is a new series we're starting in partnership with Somerville Community Access Television to highlight our wonderful member businesses and show the role that they play in our community. While it's well publicized that small businesses are an economic engine, we feel that it's our locally owned independent businesses that make our city the truly great place that it is. So they go beyond the economy to create a sense of community and take the edge off the anonymity of modern living. And so this series is our effort to introduce you to the people that you're directly supporting when you choose to shop local. And today my guest is Salina Gonzales Frazier. I said that right?
Yes.
I should have checked that first. Who is a local mom, entrepreneur, and cloth diaper enthusiast. And she owns Diaper Lab, which is the greatest store ever, located on Elm Street in Davis Square. And it's largely thanks to Salina and her team that I was able to cloth diaper both my children. And your team is now 8 people.
Pretty close.
Yeah, all of which are working parents, which is a significant challenge in and of itself. So it's great to have a place where understanding employers can hire you.
Yeah, and a lot of our employees, some of our employees at various different times through their tenure with us have brought their kids with them to work. My kids come with me to work when they need to. And, you know, sometimes people are more understanding than others. But definitely it makes it possible to be able to do what we do by being able to bring our kids with us. So.
And that's huge. You guys can't see him, but my baby's right there, right now. Because every now and then we have some childcare issues. So how did you get started with the cloth diaper store?
So, cloth diapering was not something, you know, we have people now, customers now who come in and they know, like, from the get-go, they've already done all their research, they know from the get-go that they want a cloth diaper. I was not one of those people 8 years ago, or almost 8.5 years ago now. I had my first baby and I was far away from family, and I just thought, okay, you just, you know, throw a disposable on your kid and that's what you do. And then I had my daughter who ended up being allergic to the chemical that's in disposable diaper, most disposable diapers, and she just had a persistent diaper rash we could never get rid of. And finally, our pediatrician was, I've see these fancy new cloth diapers coming through with some of these babies. You should look into that. And I was pregnant with my second already, and so I thought, oh, okay, well, we're gonna be paying for disposables for 2 babies really soon. So I started to look into it, and I started to research, and the more I started to research, the more amazed I was by all the things that existed now. You say cloth diapers to people, and people now think of cloth diapers from the 70s, with pins and having to do all this folding, but think about what your phone looked like in 1975 and what your cell phone, what your phone looks like now. It's a cell phone. And what did your TV look like in 1975? Cloth diapers have come just as far as those things have as well. So it just was it was just something that I became interested in, and was amazed that there wasn't any place local to buy all these products. So I would order all these things online, and then things would show up and they weren't really what I thought they were or what I thought I was getting. And I ended up spending a lot of money on returns and thousands of dollars on buying stuff that just didn't end up being what I thought it was going to be, and trying a bunch of different things and brands. And finally got to be time for me to go back to work, and my husband said, why don't you take all of this knowledge and research you've done and, turn it into something? And so we thought about it, and I thought, okay, this wouldn't be so bad. I'll work from home, I'll have people come in on a consultative basis, and, I'll put up a website. And it started in my dining room. I lived on Powder House at the time, and people were coming to my house in my dining room, and I had stock in my basement, and then they kept coming, and I had to keep throwing my family out of the apartment so that I could meet with people. And finally, a store that's no longer around, unfortunately, Twinkle Star, was opening down the block from us, and so I rented like a sublease a space, a corner in their store, and then we grew a bunch more over the summer, and finally we just moved into our own space, just because stock-wise we needed to have our own space. And so then, we were on Highland for 3 years, and now we're on home. So kind of the short version of the evolution of Diaper Lab over the past 8.5 years.
So you didn't even have a background in retail at that time?
No, I have never worked, until I worked in my own store, I had never worked retail. which is sort of insane. I say that it's been a learning curve becoming an entrepreneur. There are people who I think grow up wanting to be an entrepreneur or know they want to own their own business. I was never that person. My bachelor's is in psychology and music performance, and I worked at Harvard as an administrator for a long time. So I did work with budgets and things. I worked in the controller's office, and then I went on and got my master's in education. So I really didn't do anything related to into running a business. What I was passionate about, though, was trying to help people and try to help other mothers and provide a sense of community that I didn't have when my kids were small because my family was elsewhere. So yeah, that was the part that became really important to me as our business evolved. There definitely been bumps in the road, had I known what I know now, and more business-minded things. But I grew into my role as an entrepreneur. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And so part of what draws people to cloth diapers is sort of how they're much more environmentally friendly.
Yeah. So for some people, that's still a debate. What I will say is that when we decided to open up our business, my husband is also a co-owner, and he has a day job. He's a director of IT stuff at Harvard, but his master's degree, his background is in chemistry, and then he did a master's in environmental policy at MIT. And so we did a lot of research when we were trying to open the business and trying to decide, is this something that's is it really green? And a lot of people will say, it's kind of a toss-up. Personally, for me, I think it's more than a toss-up. I think that it definitely is in our area for us. It's definitely the greener alternative. In the fact that we live in a very urban environment where people can live in a triple decker and have 3 families. Once I realized that that the amount of trash our 2 babies were putting out was more than the 5 college kids who lived above us. It's a pretty stark reality once you're doing that. It's a huge amount of trash, and we don't wear paper clothes just because we have to wash them. We don't use paper utensils. Well, at least our family doesn't use paper utensils and things like that all the time. Or just because disposable products exist doesn't mean we use them all the time just because we have to wash them. So getting into cloth diapers has made me more aware of greener choices. The thing that I like to tell people is that the reason why it's a toss-up for a lot of people is because there has been no life cycle study of cloth diapers ever done in the U.S. There's never been a third-party study. There have been studies done that have been funded by Kimberly-Clark and Johnson & Johnson, right, and those places, but not a third-party study. And the closest thing that's ever been studied has been in the UK, and it was about 12 years ago that study came out. And they have a very different distribution, the life cycle of products, than we do here in the U.S. There's only 3. There are only 3 manufacturing plants for disposable diapers in the U.S. So when you think about how far a disposable diaper, not even just the trash once it's been used, but in the making of it, and then how far it has to travel on a truck from the manufacturer to a distribution center, then from a distribution center to, your grocery store or to, Amazon or, Buy My Baby or wherever else to get to you. You want to think about how many miles that disposable's already traveled, and you start thinking about like oil and all of those kinds of things, and suddenly you realize it's not, it's not green.
I didn't know that. So all diapers come from like 3
Yeah,
plants?
pretty much. They come from 3 manufacturing plants in the U.S. The other thing is that it takes more water to make a disposable than it does to make a piece of fabric. And there are various different kinds of fabrics and things like that, but certainly this is the kind of thing that I've become more aware of and that I study, and that, if there is such a thing as, laundry science, this is the kind of thing that I do now. It's more than just retailing a product. We really, really believe in what we do, and it's more than just me trying to sell stuff to somebody. It's really talking about what goes behind what we sell.
And you also mentioned sort of creating a community, which is what I think is really special about Diaper Lab. So what kind of other things do you offer to the community?
We've always done the cloth diapering classes. At this point, when we first started, that's how we started, was with classes about cloth diapers. And I think we counted up a few months ago, we counted up that over 2,000 families, not 2,000 people, 2,000 families have gone through our cloth diapering classes.
Wow.
And that's just the people who actually paid and signed up for a class. That's not, the number of people who've actually just walked in the store or have, all of those kinds of things. Those are just people who walked in and paid for, signed up and paid for our class. We offer baby wearing classes now. We also have started branching out when ISIS, unfortunately, which used to be a popular maternity store around here, went out about a year and a half ago. We got lots of customers coming in who were just heartbroken and said, look, why don't you offer things? Unfortunately, our classroom is pretty small in the space we're at right now. So we'll be looking for space actually in the next 6 months because our lease will be coming up. But that has been definitely a call from our customers is, can you do more? Can you bring in more classes? So we've brought in a newborn care class. We have a great newborn care teacher who talks about, basically how to take care of a baby. We're in an area where a lot of times people are holding, the first time they're holding a baby is their own. It's just the nature of sort of like where we live and our environment. We, started doing newborn care classes. We have a dad's class, which I'm really excited about. It's been a little slow getting off the ground, but it's definitely gaining momentum, and it's led by a local dad, and he's fantastic, and I couldn't be more excited about that. I love the dads. Dads are great. We just, what people find when they come into our store that you can't find on Amazon or that you can't find shopping online or diapers.com or whatever is that you can talk to somebody. You can pick up a product and go, have you used this? And, chances are, yeah, we have, because we pretty much test just about everything that comes in the store on our own kiddos. I tell people even our gently used, that's something, anything that's back there, we've washed it personally, so I put it on my own kid. We really get to know our customers. We see them a lot over, we find that we're oftentimes, a place for moms and dads to stop to change a diaper, or they're on their walk, daily walk, and they're going to stop in and say hi. We really enjoy that. We enjoy getting to know our customers. And so I've actually met really great, amazing friends and family like you who've stayed friends, that I've stayed friends with, because we just click, we connect. And I think that's the biggest thing is that we're not trying to judge people and tell people, oh, you should, cloth diaper. It's totally up to you. I don't know your family. Your family knows what works for your family. All I'm here to do, and we're here to do, is to support you. So if we can do that by showing you products that help your family do that, then that's great. Otherwise, we're here to talk.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, sometimes it can just be a really isolating experience being a new parent, and like you said, just a lot of people here are really isolated and they're far from home. They come here for school or for work, and I left the hospital with my first son. Like, really? You're just gonna let me have this now? Okay, sure.
You think I'm okay with this?
Really? I needed a license to drive my car.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And so, it's great just to be able to talk to another mom, whether it's about diapering or just anything. Sometimes,
and that was,
you don't talk to another grown-up all day.
Yeah,
so
that was totally my experience. My family is all in Texas. I come from a big family. Each of my parents is one of 8, but they all live in Houston. And my husband's family is all from Washington State. And so we really were on our own. And it's incredibly isolating sometimes. I think that's the reason why you see so many moms on, these Yahoo groups and Google groups and Somerville Moms List and, Facebook groups, and, they're trying to connect. They're trying to find a way to make sense of this new world. And if there's a way for us to help them do that, then absolutely, we want to be able to do that for them. We still have to stay in business at the same time. But definitely if we can provide that kind of nurturing environment, at least for the first few months while they're trying to get their feet under them and learn how to basically keep this tiny little lizard baby alive, then yeah, it's rewarding to see that. So.
And I guess just, what would you say, you sort of talked about growing into your role as an entrepreneur. Like, if you could give advice to other women and other moms who are just maybe thinking about opening a business, what would be your top piece of advice?
My top piece of advice? My
Sleep when
top
the baby
piece of
sleeps?
advice. Sleep when I could never do that, by the way. Everybody
Never
says that you're supposed
happens.
to sleep when the yeah, no, that just never happens. I think, it's funny. So this morning I happened to see something on Facebook that said, I feel like my brain as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a mom, you saw this.
I saw that.
As a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a sister, as a wife, I kind of feel like I do a little bit of everything, but I'm not always doing everything well. I feel like I have all these tabs open in my head where I'm constantly thinking about, okay, this tab says I've got to worry about taxes. This tab says, okay, I've got to look at that new product that I saw somebody talking about. This tab says, oh, there's a customer who's got an order waiting. This tab says, oh, somebody so said she's not going to be able to work on Saturday. Oh, that's right. My daughter's supposed to go, to a dentist appointment. My son's supposed to go to camp. Like, I constantly feel like, and I think most working mothers feel this way. I think the stress with having a retail store is that, the door's open no matter what. You got to have, you don't make money unless your doors are open. And our area, having an actual brick and mortar store is expensive, just because the cost of overhead and space and all of that kind of stuff. So, rain or shine, if, somebody doesn't show up, I'm the person that shows up. And I think that's the thing, is a lot of people have this vision of, I see this a lot of times with other moms who are like, oh, I want to open a cloth diaper store. And they're like, oh, I'm going to do it. And they have this great vision of, oh, I'll be able to take my baby to work with me. It'll be so easy. I'll do this. And what I really want to say is, eventually you may be able to get to that point, but if somebody doesn't show up, you're the one opening and closing. You're the one scrubbing the toilet. You're the one who's going on TV having an interview. But, you're the one shoveling the snow. You're the one, it really, it may seem like it's ideal at first, but there's just a huge amount of work that has gone into it. I really think that, people who are friends of mine who have been friends with us for a long time and kind of saw the evolution of when the idea started to where we are now, really get that, because they've seen us grow and evolve. The biggest piece of advice I have is think about how hard you're prepared to work and then multiply it by 10. is to really be honest with yourself that it's hard. It's going to be hard, especially in this day and age. It's gotten hard, and I would even say it's gotten harder now than it was when I started 8 years ago. And a lot of that has to do with honestly, it has to do with Amazon.
Yeah.
Hands down has to do with online shopping and Amazon. So
Which is so hard, especially as a parent, to stay committed to your
It
ideals.
is, and I
not just be
believe
like,
it.
It's so easy. I can order this from my phone while I'm nursing in the middle of the night, and just to know, like, all right, I have to make time tomorrow to go do this thing. Is
exactly.
and it's really.
So one of the things we're doing right now, like we had taken out some stuff when we start on credit cards when we first started our business, and then we paid it off, and we had run on cash for about the past 6 years. So people, when ISIS went out, people were like, came running in and were like, you guys aren't going to go out. And I'm like, no, we have a different business model. We're gonna be around. But recently we took out our first small business loan just recently, and part of it is going to be to do an upgrade on our website and our shopping cart, and trying to make our website more easier to use, and more user friendly and mom friendly and all of those kinds of things, because we do know that's how for what it's worth, Pandora's box is opened, and shopping, people shop online. That's just the way it is now. The thing that you get, and that we have to try and get people to remember, is that when you shop with us, whether it's on our website or whether it's in our store, you will always pick up the phone and get a real person. You'll get a mom who's used the product. You'll get, you can't call up Amazon and be like, so I got this diaper, how do I get, my diapers smell funky, how do I get them clean? Because Amazon's gonna be like, what? It's a totally different experience. And so that's the part that we're trying to get people to understand. And I think the other biggest thing that we fight is showrooming. It just is. It's just so hard. And for people who don't know what showrooming is when you walk into a brick and mortar store and you look at all the products and you touch and feel everything in person, and then you ask the staff lots of questions, and you help them. You spend an hour. We spend an hour with people, and then they walk out the door and they don't even realize what they're saying, but they're like, oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad now I know what to put on my Amazon registry. And people literally say that now without any gall. It's just so ingrained now in our culture that people don't even realize what they're doing. And I think that's the really, really hard part about what we do, is trying to get people to understand that, yeah, we sell things at MSRP, so they're not going to be any more expensive in our store than they are someplace else. And that when you support a small business, we'll still be here. You know, if you support us and buy your products with us, that means we'll be here in a year when you need to come back because you're having issues or you're having problems or you've moved on to the next baby and you need to buy the next thing or whatever. Right. So,
and also, like, I think we both saw on Facebook this morning,
yeah,
that when you buy from a store like yours, you're supporting you, who's another local mom, and
yeah,
other parents that you employ, and not, you know, Jeff Bezos. And
not the third vacation home or something like that. You know,
exactly.
You're allowing a mom, you know, one of the things we've been committed to is, you know, one, hiring parents and paying a living wage. And, you know, we pay more than minimum wage. And that's been really important to me. So somebody who has, you know, like one of my employees right now has, you know, 2 kids, small children under the age of 4, and she's able to make more than minimum wage. So yeah, it's not going to make her rich, but maybe she's gonna be able to pay for groceries that month, you know. And that's just always been something that has been really important to me. My mom was a single mother, and it's been, and I, you know, think of all the times, you know, that she, you know, the stories she told me and things I remember, you know, growing up about how hard it was for her to leave us and go to work. And so it really is important to me that kid, you know, they're able to do, you know, our employees are able to bring their kids to work. They're able to nurse. They're able to, you know, do whatever they need to do to be a mom, to be a parent. So.
Because it is not easy.
No.
You were talking earlier about the evolution of cloth diapers and how much easier and more fun they are, and I think this is a great chance for us to take advantage of our new star and show them off.
Absolutely. If Graham is willing to be our stunt baby, we will go take a look at all what modern cloth diapers have evolved to.
Awesome.
What I have in front of me is an array of the products that we carry at Diaper Lab. We're primarily a cloth diapering store. So what I have are diapers that would fit in a baby from a newborn stage all the way through potty training. My demo baby today is going to be Lucy, and I'm going to start with some of the newborn diapers, show people how far cloth diapers have come in the past 35, 40 years. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to show people is when people talk about cloth diapering, this is what they imagine. They imagine a cotton pre-fold. This is an infant-size pre-fold, will fit a baby from 7 to 15 pounds. This is what I was cloth diapered in back in 1970-something. And that if you were to use a diaper service, this is what they would bring you, clean and fresh every week. It's very easy to launder them at home, so a lot of people will still use these to diaper a baby. You'll need about between 24 to 30 of them, but the reason why they're still in existence and still the most popular diaper that we sell in our store, even with all the fancy new schmangled fancy diapers, the reason why these are still so popular is because they're inexpensive. And newborn babies go through many more diapers per day than an older baby will. So at the very beginning, when newborn poop is still sort of runny and messy, these come in handy. So the way you use one, though, is I'm going to try and show you guys here, is you're going to fold down in the back, makes a little stop sign for what's coming out. It's also how you're going to adjust the rise on the baby. So you put the baby down and you're going to do what's called an airplane fold. So paper airplane fold, and basically you're going to pull it up narrow between the baby's legs and then you're going to pull it out. Another cool invention that has changed since the diaper pin. Diaper pins you can still use, but most of the time we don't sell them. What we sell instead are these wonderful little contraptions called snappies. They are little rubber pieces of rubber. They have little teeth on the outside. They work the same way that a little silver clip on an ace bandage would work. And you literally clip on one side, clip on the other side, and clip down. And now this baby's diaper is staying on. So that's the absorbent part of the diaper. The waterproof part of the diaper is still going to be a waterproof cover. If you remember sort of from the 70s, those old-fashioned rubber pants, those are sort of gone. And what has replaced them is something called PUL, and it stands for polyurethane laminate. And it basically is a laminated polyester. And you check and make sure that the diaper is all The pre-fold is inside the cover, but this cute little cover is going to do its job. It has elastic at the waist and elastic at the legs, and it will keep everything contained. One of those, since we're talking about elastic, one of the things that I will tell people is that it's actually a myth that cloth diapers leak more than disposables. In fact, I never had leaks with my kiddos. I had leaks when I was using disposable diapers because paper elastic does not hold as well as real elastic. Real elastic wins every day. So these wonderful diaper covers are fantastic, and they keep everything in where it's supposed to be. So that is what is called a pre-fold and cover system. So it's two parts. The waterproof part and the absorbent part are still two pieces. So it is possible to just change out this part, and if the cover is still clean and relatively usable, just wipe it out with a washcloth and start with another pre-fold. A lot of people find that really, really easy to do, less expensive. You need 24 to 30 of these. You need a couple of snappies, and you want 6 to 8 of the diaper covers. Now, if you wanted to do something that was still a two-piece system, but still didn't want to do all the folding, one of the things that I would show you would be something called this, which is a fitted diaper. A fitted diaper means it's fitted, so it looks like how a diaper would go on a baby. The whole thing is absorbent, and you would still need to put a waterproof cover on top of it. But because it has elastic at the legs and it has elastic at the waist, awesome at containing all of that runny newborn stuff. So same thing, you would put it on like this. You pull the fitted up and over. Some of them will have little snap downs like you can see here for the umbilical cord. So for a newborn baby, this would be an excellent choice. You snap it on like that. And of course your baby is completely compliant and not going to cry and move or anything, just like Lucy is here. And then you would put your waterproof cover on top of it. So, and same thing goes. You would only need 24 to 30 of these, and then a waterproof cover, 6 to 8 waterproof covers to go on top. If even a two-part system seems kind of daunting, then what you can do is move on to something that's all one piece. And something that would be all one piece would be something like this. And this is a Thirsty's newborn sized all-in-one. So this is going to fit a baby from 5 pounds to about 12, 13 pounds. It has a little snap down for the umbilical cord here. What's nice about this type of diaper is that the waterproof part and the absorbent part are all sewn together. It's all one piece. So it's just like using a disposable diaper, only you're going to wash it. So put it on our baby here. You do it the same exact way. You're going to put the baby down. You're going to put the diaper on. The other thing you want to make sure you are doing when you're putting on a diaper, any kind of diaper, is making sure that you are getting right in the creases of their legs. Sometimes when diapers leak, whether they're disposables or cloth diapers, what we'll find are people aren't pulling snug enough right around the legs. You should only be able to get one finger in snugly at the legs. Remember, you're not going to break the baby. Things have to be snug enough so that they'll stay up and keep everything contained. So think about your socks. Your athletic socks have to apply pressure to your ankle in order to stay up, but it doesn't hurt. And if there are any creases are gone in just a little bit. So it's the same way for diapers. It's got to be snug enough to keep everything in. That is sort of a simple and quick and dirty introduction to cloth diapers. Again, you know your family best. We're just here to help you find the products that work for you, your baby, and your family. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.
So to find out more about Cloth Diapers and Diaper Lab, where should people go?
So to find out more about Diaper Lab, people can visit us at diaperlab.com. They can go to Facebook, and we're facebook.com, /Diaper Lab. We're on Instagram at Diaper Lab. We're on Twitter at Diaper Lab. And I actually have a mom who used to live in the area, but now lives in Chicago, who does a lot of our social media for us. And she's a mom of 3, and she knows all about Diaper Lab.
Great. And your physical store address?
Our physical store address is 200 Elm Street North, and technically we're in Cambridge, but the Somerville city line runs right through our parking lot, so we still have our Somerville roots.
And to find out more about Somerville Local First and some of our other merchants, please visit us at somervillelocalfirst.org, or you can find us on Facebook and also Instagram at Somerville First, and Twitter, which is at Local First. And we'll be putting up a series of these to meet more of our merchants, so stay tuned. And thanks so much.